From the beautiful campus of Casper College, it's the T-Birds Coaches Show, bringing you game breakdowns, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews. Here's your host, Tom Myler.
Hello, T-Bird fans, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Casper College Coaches Show. Joining us in studio, Coach Faith Anders. Welcome back, Faith.
Good morning.
It is a great time to be a Thunderbird, and we're excited to have you in here to talk a little bit more about some rodeo.
Absolutely.
But before we get that, we have to ask the very important question. Halloween's coming up. What are you going to be for Halloween?
I haven't talked him into it yet, but my husband's 6'2", so I really want to be with Mike Wazowski and Sully.
That sounds fantastic. I love it. Please convince him. I think
trying.
that'd be great.
He's not a big Halloween guy.
I mean, just tell him to get over it.
That's what I'm trying.
He's making memories.
He's like,
right?
"Where are we going?" I'm like, "I don't know. We'll figure it out once we get there. We just got to get the costume first."
That's exactly right. I mean, at least take the picture and then hand out candy, whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll do something.
But, all right, let us know how that goes.
Okay.
We're rooting for you. Our
Thank
fans
you.
are, because I imagine they can get that image too. And I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah, no, I'm 5'2" and he's 6'2", so I feel like it's
Perfect. Yep. And then, in the picture, just cover your face. It's like, I was in a picture.
Exactly.
Yep, we get it. All right. So that was a very important question. Now we'll get to also important questions. You went to Lamar this past weekend, and you did all right. You're continuing to progress in just kind of our pre-show talks. It sounds like things are moving. You had a couple people place. You had in the breakaway, you had a second and a seventh place finisher. In the team roping, you had a healer and a header. Finished seventh, yes.
Yep.
And so, I mean, there's some progress, and it's good to hear. How are you feeling about the team?
Good. Like you said, progress, which is what you want, Sometimes they only give points down to 6 in each round in the average. So sometimes you guys aren't seeing in the results what we're seeing in the practice pen at the rodeo arena. There might be something that a student is working really hard on one thing. And so they accomplish that goal, and that looks so much better from just even practice a couple days ago, And we see that progress, and we know that those building blocks are getting put together, and it might not show up in the results right now, but we know what it's building to, and we're progressing in the right direction.
Yeah, which event would you say right now is kind of in that boat where they've made lots of progress, but it's just not quite showing in the results yet?
I think, I want to say all of them, because we get to see
Right.
all of the hard work and what all of the students are doing across all the events. But I think the bull riding, we're making some big strides. That's something that you really don't see in the results, because they, if they don't ride for 8 seconds, they don't get points. They're not showing up in the results at all, where they might be making 5-6 second really good bull rides, and maybe they're not drawing the best, and so we see that and we're like, man, if they draw this kind of bull or do this, like, they're going to be in the points, they're going to make the whistle, they're going to do that stuff, where you guys, when you're looking at results and stuff.
Yeah, I think there was two bull riders that even got points.
Yeah, so you see big old goose eggs next to the Casper College kids, but we see the rides and we're like, no, it's a lot closer than just getting bucked off every weekend. And then I think on the roping events, I think we're obviously, you see that in the results,
that one
right?
definitely we're seeing.
Yeah, Macy's getting points week after week. We got team ropers making the short round, all that. But there's some sleepers in there too that they're putting those building blocks together, and their time's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And with and I'm glad you brought up the team roping. And Macy York, right? Last week we talked a little bit about her and how, hey, she was just a hair off or whatever it might have been, and hey, if she fixes this thing or that thing. Well, obviously she did, because she's ended up second in the breakaway. And so I just want to kind of have you, whether it's to me, the fans, whatever it might be, just walk us through that process of how she's able to get enough points, what runs that she did, what did she do well to get to second in the breakaway.
I think, my biggest thing, and we've talked about this in the past, is taking it run by run, right? She broke the barrier in the short round at Sheridan. But like I said, we weren't upset. We were like, man, that was the game plan. The calf didn't run as hard as he did the day before. We saw the start for what he did the day before. They're animals. They can do something different one day that they did the day before. Just like us, we can do something different the day before, And so we told her, you're roping good. Just stick to your game plan. Execute what you do. And that's what she did, and worked out. She stayed behind the barrier, but she was in it. It was great.
Awesome. So I think her fastest time was a 3.4, 5.4, something like that.
So she was 5.4 on 2 head.
Oh, okay.
So she was a 2.6 and a 2.3. Or
2.3 is fast.
I don't know. She was something fast. Yeah.
I mean, I think the fastest I've ever
Whatever the
seen is
math.
maybe a 2, like 1.9. I mean, it's really fast, but so 2.3. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
No, she was-
top tier.
Yeah, she was on it.
So, I mean, that's great to hear that we've got some athletes progressing, doing well, and that's what we want, right? And we've talked about this every time. That's like first year head coach here. It's like there's going to be some growing pains, but as long as you're seeing that progression, that's what's going to be kind of the.
And no, there's gonna be steps backwards. It's just like anything. If you want to be successful at it, you're gonna come into adversity. You're gonna take steps backwards. But as long as you're taking more steps forward than backwards, you're winning.
Absolutely. So, great weekend. We're looking forward to it. You got another weekend in the fall season.
Yep.
And you're going down to Cheyenne, LCCC. That's where they're having this final rodeo. I mean, what are you hoping? What are you expecting out of this one?
A little closer to home, a little shorter drive. Not that Lamar's terrible, but it's about 7 hours, so it's a little longer drive,
Yeah.
And so that takes an effect on everything going into the next week, going into classes. So here, it's a little shorter of a drive, so we're more, less time on the road, so you can take more time here, being prepared, get down there, and so I think that's a little bit of an advantage. We're also indoors, so we won't get sand pelted by the wind this weekend like
just
we
be
did in
thankful you
Lamar.
weren't in Wyoming this last weekend because you would have gotten rained out.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it does. Like we talked, rodeos don't get canceled.
No.
It just sucks more than other times.
Yep. Yep. Nope. So we're indoors. It's a great arena. It's a great facility. They'll have good stock there, so it'll be good, and it should be less of a drawn contest and more of a roping contest.
All right. So talk about a little bit about the stock, because last time we got up here, we talked about how different breeds kind of maybe act a little different. So talk about this breed and maybe what kind of their tendencies are.
I think, I don't really have I guess beef cattle are going to be more my preference if I'm going to have one, but it's more about who owns them, how they take care of them, how they manage them.
Okay.
Tyler Jolly has the cattle at this rodeo. They'll be Jace Honeys, Bulldog and steers. They just do a great job of managing them, keeping more even of pens. When it's the fall, they're older. It's harder to get an even set of cattle or pens of steers, calves, whatever. And so they do a great job, and so it makes it more even across the board for the cowboy than if you go somewhere and it's an uneven pen. You got one that runs really hard and one that doesn't run very hard, right? Because you have to go at them different. And when you're on the first run of the cattle, on the first draw, you don't know what they are. So you take the average start and you get the one that runs really hard or the one that's really, really slow. There's not much you can do about it. But it's kind of part of it. They're animals. Like, you can bring a really even set of pens and one calf can decide to run really hard or not one day. It's just part of it.
Well, that's interesting to note that it's not necessarily the breed, just, hey, how are they trained? How are they managed? Are they kind of more that even? It's like about on average, everyone's going to run the same. So that's something that hopefully people learn.
And part of the managing is knowing what you got, right? And how to manage that and what to feed them and how to feed them and things like that.
All right. So with Macy York, we're going to bring her up again. So she got second this last weekend. Are you hoping that she maybe breaks that final barrier and gets that title in the breakaway?
Always. We always want to win. That's part of competition,
Of course.
right? You don't win, or you don't enter for second, or at least I don't. But she just keeps chipping away at points. I mean, it is a marathon. There's 10 of these rodeos throughout the year. If you just keep chipping away in the points, it's going to be hard to deny you in the fall or in the spring when it's all said and done.
Absolutely. I mean, like getting to that CNFR, right, is kind of that ultimate goal of, hey, I got to win here, slowly chip away to have enough points, or even team get automatic bids, then you can go in.
I was my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. I was fourth, all 3 years, and they take the top 3 to the college finals.
Of course.
And I like to use it as an example though, because I won 3 or 4 rodeos a year, outright won them.
Right.
But those other ones, I did not get any points. 0 points. And so you can win rodeos, but if you're not consistent, it's not going to be enough. Where Carissa Rayhill, or I don't know how to pronounce her last name now, Goshell or something like that. She's married, but she was a great competitor, and she had never won a rodeo, but she would make the college finals because she was just consistently in the points every single weekend. And that's what it takes to slay the giant, is just being consistent and, like I said, taking each run at a time and executing what you do.
Absolutely. So here's another big question for you. Every event we want to see win, but for our team, what are you thinking is the event? Say, hey, watch that one. We got some competitors. Or, hey, we got some people making progress. You're going to want to keep your eye on this event.
The bull riders, for sure. I think.
Everyone just loves watching bull riding too. So
it's exciting. It's fun. They're putting some work in. It's awesome. I'm excited for them. Can't wait for when they finally hear the buzzer and get the score, because they work hard and they're putting some good rides together in the practice pen. So it's going to be fun to see it happen at the rodeo. And then the team roping. I think they work really hard. Jason's super awesome. Our assistant coach, Jason Furnival, he helps coach them up really great. We've got great steers. So I think team roping's one to watch. It should be a good rodeo this weekend.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I saw the results for the team roping, because in the past we've had one place with, I think, someone from LCCC or somewhere, and then now it's two Casper College guys roping together, and it's and we talked about this before, it really doesn't matter who you're roping with, right? Because it's just who you have that connection with, and it seems like maybe now our Casper guys are like, hey, we've got this figured out.
Yep, they rope good together.
Obviously enough to get some points this past weekend. Hopefully can continue to do that. Well, any other thing you want to tell us about this weekend, or just kind of how you're feeling, what you're seeing? Any final thoughts from you?
Nope. There might be a live stream.
Yes, on YouTube, I believe.
Okay,
I've seen
I was going to say,
Yep.
I haven't seen it, but in the past, Cheyenne's pretty good about live streaming. I know they've been on the Cowboy Channel in the past even, so that might be there. But it's just in Cheyenne, so if you want to come down to the rodeos, they're at 7 p.m. nightly, Friday and Saturday, and then short round Sunday at 11.
All right. Well, we're excited. We're rooting for you. And fans, you heard it. If you can't make it down to Cheyenne, which, only a cool 2.5 hours away, you can catch on live stream. But until then, see you next time.